Hey yo, bam. Hey, this is real watercolor paint. This is not Photoshop. Rotate the canvas, flip it around. This is real life painting. Well, not painting from real life, this is from imagination, but this is real paint, people. So, red and green, you know how it goes down. If this is the first video and you don't know what's happening, you better go check some color theory. If you don't know what color theory is, stop this video immediately. Search the web on color theory so you know how to combine colors to make pleasing, interesting images. Then come back and you'll understand why I'm making color choices like I am. So I dropped some violet in there for my shadow, and really I just love violet shadows. Not violent, but violet. And then once I get the violet, I can then transition it to blue. Why? Because they're next to each other on the color wheel. They're related. They blend well. They're pretty. And then one of my favorite things to do is line work. 90% of the line work that I do in most of these videos is gonna be a Mars Black acrylic paint. Mostly because I like the name Mars Black. And really I like acrylic paint because if you smudge it, well, it's hard to smudge because it dries really quickly. It's basically a plastic paint. It's basically a plastic paint, which means that it's really difficult to mess up. Unless you use something to slow down the drying time, and I don't use that. I want it to dry fairly rapidly so I can go back into it fairly rapidly, fairly quickly. And again, I have this this love of line. So for some of these paintings, if you haven't checked the other paintings on the channel, check out some of the other paintings. But a lot of these paintings, I do end up dropping that thick black line just because I find it very easy to hold the shape and the silhouette. And you can see I went back in there with that purple again, that violet. And right now I'm using these Kuretake watercolors. It's like a 36 set. It's ridiculous. Some of the colors are really close, but I mean, I just like the idea of having 36 colors, really. And then as a finishing touch, always that acrylic, just to bounce some light back into the shadow areas so it doesn't end up looking flat. And then one of the things that I end up liking to do a lot too is dropping in some little bit stronger highlights to make things pop. Because if your images don't have pop, they end up looking flat. Nobody likes really flat images. So highlights, because everybody likes the highlights. And then that little illustrated line that you just drop in to add the extra bit of separation. In this case, it's just a white acrylic paint to go in and basically make the drawing or the painting itself separate from the background. And then of course when you're done, you sign it because you're supposed to.